mean, you know that this is like the culmination of, we're getting near the climax here, because we've got the situation where we're on a high bridge. We've got a fat monk with a flock of sheep and a staff beating up men on motorcycles with makeup that are protecting a gay guy and an Asian inside of a car.
Well, Dennis Rodman has a laser-scoped handgun shooting from an Italian balcony.
I want to know how many drinks the director gave Rodman in order to get him to sign the contract.
Everything about this movie is absurd. The characters, the settings, the situations. And it's like when it all coalesces in these fight scenes, it just gets ridiculous. It's like a Salvador Dali painting or something.
They were making this shit up as they were going, I know it.
So then it cuts to Dane Cook and the girl's boyfriend, who are now like trained killing machines that are climbing up the sides of this fortress, killing clown guys left and right.
Oh, but the clown guys keep appearing. Like,
there's
no matter how
dozens,
many they kill, more and more and more.
Dozens and dozens of these guys.
Everybody in the whole village is one of the clown men.
I don't understand why they were even wearing clown makeup. It seems like they're trying to build the villain up to be like a gay Joker, but he has no motivation or history, or there's no reason for him.
Yeah, he's not eccentric or anything. He's just gay, and kind of annoyingly gay.
Yeah, and he keeps doing these like cutesy little like, oh my darlings, and like.
And what about all the parkour too?
And so Dane Cook and the boyfriend are doing parkour, and then they're doing all these I don't know what you call them, but like the wire shots where they're like jumping, but they're jumping like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yes, oh god. But they didn't freeze the film at least.
Yeah, and Dane Cook's been established as a clumsy idiot who can't even pull a gun out of a holster up to this point, and now he's a straight up killing machine.
Yeah, right.
So then Rodman's riding up, and he's being chased, and he's trying to get to this fortress because he clearly knows how to get there or where it is. And he goes through a tunnel, and it's like the edges of the tunnel are square, but he somehow rides up through the roof of the tunnel, like loops over the roof. And
he's
then
constantly defying gravity by flying.
Passes a car that's driving, and then it just explodes. Why did that car explode?
I don't.
He does a loop-de-loop.
Because it looks so badass when he was coming out of the tunnel with fire behind him.
He does a loop-de-loop over this tunnel, and then when he hits the ground, the car he just overtook explodes, and he's like rides past the explosion. And then meanwhile, the evil guy gets to like the heart of his fortress, which is an observatory.
Yeah, I'm not
with
quite
a telescope.
Sure I understand that. Yeah, they had an observatory.
And he converted the telescope into the machine that will control the laser that he got.
And the whacked out computer program that he was using with the little cartoon character.
And is that how lasers even work? I don't know a lot about lasers, but they don't curve, do they?
No, they don't.
I thought they go straight.
If he's shooting out of the top of that, he's going to hit an airplane.
The big reveal of this villain with unknown motivations and an unknown backstory, the big reveal of his ultimate goal is to use this laser observatory to destroy the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah. We've gone through all of this.
He
killed all of those poor motorcycle parkour makeup-faced guys so that he could shoot the Eiffel Tower.
So, I'm sure it would be pretty sad, and maybe 100 people or something, or a few hundred people would die, and then
maybe just American
the tower
tourists.
is an icon and stuff. But really, like the Eiffel Tower, you have a death laser.
Show the French. They're such a threat.
You're not going to shoot the White House or New York City.
But the French are so easy to go after.
Jesus. Had he gone through with it, I don't think there would have been that many effects. And they probably would very easily have been able to trace it back to the source of the laser at this fucking observatory. And it's not like he could have defended himself with a laser because there's this big charging up progress.
And he's already killed off all of his little makeup men.
I think it would have been a one-shot thing. He would have shot down the Eiffel Tower, and then he would have been arrested. So maybe they should have just let it go.
Now, my favorite line from the gay guy was when he went to get the disc from the hostage girl's dad, and he said, what did he say? Oh, wish me luck. I've got a date with your father.
Yeah, a lot of innuendos. A lot of innuendos from the gay guy.
That's a threat. That girl must have been sweating.
So the computer that he's programming this in has this little 3D, it's like that paperclip in Microsoft Word. It's like, hi boss, congratulations, you did it, you got the laser, and
it's like a little cartoon face of himself.
What computer really operates on a system of a 3D character? And they kill everybody, and Rodman of course, the last fight is he fights the Asian, because the Asian is the culmination of every fight
Ultimately,
scene.
you must always fight the Asian. This is the theme of the movie, you know.
The Asian guy. And so then the monks suddenly have a bee robot, and even though their computers are all destroyed, somehow they have a bee robot and a way to control it.
Where did they get this
Who
drone
knows?
bee?
And that bee robot stops the dude from shooting a laser, and Rodman gets up in his face, and he like stabs him through this electrical box, and he's getting all electrocuted, and he stopped the laser. But then the dude points his finger.
It was a young Frankenstein moment there.
Yeah, and shoots the electricity out of his finger to the computer, and then the little 3D character on the computer is like being electrocuted, like the images of him being electrocuted. He's like, this is not good. And like, really? So Rodman leaves the observatory, and then it just explodes. It just straight up explodes.
Into some of the worst CGI ever in all of time. Oh my
God. It's like, it was like a stop motion or something. A green screen. I don't even know what it was.
I think at this point, the director just said, hey, son, you want to do it, you little 5-year-old kid?
So then Dane Cook, the boyfriend, the girl that was kidnapped, and then the Swedish tranny are all like limping out of this place like they just got out of the big fight, and they all simultaneously go, that's our Simon.
Yeah.
Like, then the final scene is it cuts to the boyfriend and the girl being married, and then her dad that flew out there and his dad, who it seemed like was the one that kidnapped her, they reconciled, and they're riding away in this old-timey car.
Oh, we're in-laws
and
now.
Everybody's happy. And then it pans up to the yellow motorcycle with the yellow body armor thing, and it's Dane Cook with like a goatee and piercings like Rodman. And he's like, I'm on my first mission, like the CIA would have inducted him after him being part of this like failed mission. And then Rodman rides off with the Swedish chick, and then that's it.
No, it leaves
the monks.
Dane Cook with the monks, and they're wandering off, just sort of babbling like a bunch of idiots. Now I'm thinking, well, this movie is just so kitschy and the dialogue sucks so big time that the last line of this movie is going to indicate what the whole movie's like. And the last line was, "Gentlemen, coming to the stage, Free Willy." Yeah, that's what the movie was like.
They were talking about how the fat white monk apparently used to be a stripper, and Free Willy was his stage name, and that is where the movie ends.
Oh, I've got it. Dennis Rodman's hair was dog vomit.
Dog vomit?
No, or rusted steel wool.
I could see the steel wool.
Yeah. I will come up with what it is.
I think macaroni is my best bet. It literally looked like macaroni with cheese on it.
Oh my God.
So, all in all, I had seen the strobe sex scene of this movie in a hotel in New York City, and I knew I had to find out what this movie was and see the rest of it.
How did you backtrack to find the movie? Like, did you type that in somewhere?
I googled Dennis Rodman strobe sex scene, I think, and that led me right to it. Simon Sez, which by the way, Simon Sez is S-E-Z,
yeah,
which I don't know why it's spelled that way. That's not like it's his.
No, but it's like slang.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that
for says? Yeah.
Why wouldn't they just spell it the normal way?
Because they wanted to sound black. I don't know.
Jeez, you're probably right.
They thought it was cool and hip.
And
God, I'm really having a hard time figuring out how in the hell they peddled this movie to anybody that was involved in it, other than to say you get a free vacation and make a fool of yourself, and nobody's ever going to hire you
I'm
again.
surprised, as bad as this movie was, based upon what the budget probably was, because this probably cost at least 10, 20 million, if not more. There's a lot of special effects.
I mean, they had to take everybody. They literally was done in Europe.
Yeah,
it looks like they didn't fake cheap. That. And all the cars they had to crash, and then the helicopter they had to rent, and then the makeup. Oh, good God, just for the makeup alone.
The clown makeup. God.
And Rodman's Regis Philbert casual wear clothing.
Oh my God. So they lost a lot of money on this. I'm calling it. I haven't looked this up.
They had to have hired every French parkour guy too to do this, be all those parts.
And then the fat monk guy's body double was a really skinny guy.
He was dangling off a bridge, and they showed him from a distance, and it was a slender guy.
They couldn't have stuffed his shirt with like straw or something. I mean, at least tried, put a fat suit.
Oh my!
But I'm not sure out of 10 how I would rate this movie, because it's like. There was a high production value, so if I were to rate this...
If you were into fight scenes, it wasn't really like hardcore I could kill you fight sines, but if you like ones that look like gymnastics...
Yeah, like...
It was very gymnastics
like
or
fight scenes on ice
dance.
Or something.
Yeah, on ice.
I don't... If I were to rate this based on how much money they put in versus the end product, I would give this like a 1. But...
Yeah.
as far as like so bad it's good, there are definitely some scenes like that sex scene, the strobe sex scene, and like
you don't get that in most movies with techno house music. Yeah.
If I were to say, yeah, I just saw this really good movie and they drive this convertible off a cliff and a parachute deploys, you'd be like, oh, is it a James Bond movie? I'm like, no, it's Dennis Rodman is driving the car.
And Dane Cook is ready to vomit over the side. Yeah, it was bad.
How would you rate this out of 10?
If I had to do, as far as advising other people to watch it, I would probably give it a 3. And I'd only do that because there's a lot of guys out there that would want to watch it just for the techno stuff. Or for the really hot Norwegian lady that's got mile-long legs and can fight. She was actually my favorite character in the whole movie.
I was looking for an Adam's apple, though, to be honest.
I know, I did think she was a dude. She had a man's face and body, really.
I'd give 3 out of 10 to every movie. But I think I would give this a 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
It surpassed like Troll 2 in terms of budget and production value, but I think it was equally as bad as Troll 2 in the writing. And
was there writing? I thought they were just making the whole thing up as they went along.
What was written?
Everything fell flat. They tried to make jokes, and it was
4 writers for this movie.
And they were
somehow
all smoking boobies.
Between the 4 of them, they weren't able to. Okay, so you give it a 3 out of 10?
3, yeah.
And I give it a 3 out of 10. That's Simon Sez from 1999.